Breaking news. Valentini decides to fire Nancy Lee Grahn on General Hospital after her comments about Charlie Kirk. The soap world has been shaken to its core. In a twist that could rival anything General Hospital itself has ever scripted, executive producer Frank Valentini has allegedly made the explosive decision to part ways with veteran actress Nancy Lee Grahn, Alexis Davis, following her polarizing public comments about political commentator Charlie Kirk. For nearly 3 decades, Grahn has reigned as one of Port Charles's most intellectual, sharp-tongued, and complicated heroines. Alexis Davis is not just a lawyer, mother, and survivor. She is part of the fabric of GH. But now, it seems, her off-screen words may have sealed her fate. Fans are divided, the cast is reeling, and insiders are whispering that this could mark the biggest casting shakeup of the decade. Below, we'll dive into the scandal, the behind-the-scenes drama, the potential fallout for Alexis storylines, and what this means for the future of General Hospital. Nancy Lee Grahn has never been shy about speaking her mind. Known for her outspoken political stances on social media, Grahn has long used her platform to challenge ideologies, debate hot-button issues, and even spar with fans. But according to industry insiders, it was her most recent commentary directed at Charlie Kirk, a conservative political activist, that crossed an invisible line for ABC executives. Her comments, blunt and fiery, spread like wildfire across the internet. Supporters praised her bravery, while critics labeled her remarks as unprofessional and divisive. Within hours, the soap world was ablaze. Soap stars are not strangers to controversy, one anonymous crew member admitted. But this felt different. It was like Nancy's words opened a wound that the network didn't want to touch. Executive producer Frank Valentini, the man behind GH's modern-era survival, reportedly called emergency meetings with Disney ABC brass. For days, rumors swirled about whether Grahn would be suspended, warned, or let off with a slap on the wrist. But by midweek, whispers turned into roars. Valentini himself allegedly decided the best course of action was to terminate Grahn's contract. This wasn't a decision Frank wanted to make lightly, a source revealed. Nancy is GH. She's history, legacy, family. But after all the attention this brought, after all the calls ABC was getting, it became a liability. The word came down. She had to go. The reaction among Grahn's fellow castmates has been nothing short of explosive. Reports indicate that several of her longtime co-stars, particularly Jeannie Francis, Laura, Maurice Bernard, Sonny, and Finola Hughes, Anna, were shocked and devastated by the decision. Everyone knows Nancy speaks her mind, another insider shared. That's part of her charm. That's Nancy. The thought of Alexis being gone, it's like losing a limb. She's part of this place. Other actors, however, are said to have been more cautious in their responses, understanding the network's sensitivity in today's political climate. The mood in the studio is tense, uncertain, and heavy with the weight of history. Before diving deeper into the fallout, it's worth remembering what Nancy Lee Grahn has given to General Hospital. Since joining in 1996, Alexis has been one of the most beloved characters in the show's history. Her Cassadine connection. Introduced as Natasha Cassadine, Alexis brought old-world intrigue into modern Port Charles, forever linking her to the show's royal villains. Romances and heartbreaks, from her complex love story with Ned Ashton to her ill-fated bond with Julian Jerome, Alexis' romantic history is a soap novel all its own. Motherhood drama. As the mother of Sam, Christina, and Molly, Alexis has anchored one of the most dynamic families on GH. Watching her daughters grow has been a highlight of the series. Courtroom power. Alexis' legal prowess has saved Port Charles's residents more times than can be counted. From defending Sonny to sparring with Diane, her courtroom presence is iconic. Addiction and redemption. Perhaps one of her most powerful storylines came in her struggle with alcoholism, a performance Grahn delivered with such raw truth that it resonated deeply with fans. Alexis Davis is not just a character, she's an institution. Which is why the idea of her being written out feels like an earthquake in daytime television. Fans are, unsurprisingly, split down the middle. Social media has turned into a battleground of opinions. Team Nancy. Thousands of fans have flooded Twitter/X and Facebook with messages of support, defending Grahn's right to free speech and calling out ABC for cancel culture. Team ABC. Others argue that her comments were too divisive for a public platform and that actors representing a Disney-owned show should be mindful of brand image. The undecided. Many fans simply mourn the potential loss of Alexis, regardless of politics. They want their favorite character to stay, and they're begging for a compromise. Alexis Davis is bigger than politics, one longtime viewer wrote. She's family to us. Please, ABC, don't take her away. If Valentini truly follows through with this decision, the next question becomes, how will Alexis Davis exit Port Charles? Soap operas thrive on drama, and this sudden firing would force the writers into high gear. Several possible storylines are being floated by fans and insiders alike. A noble exit. Alexis could accept a high-profile legal job outside of Port Charles, perhaps in Washington, D.C., giving her daughters reason to visit her off-screen. A tragic death. In true soap fashion, Alexis could be killed off in a shocking twist, perhaps at the hands of a Cassadine enemy. A disappearance. The writers could choose to leave the door open by having Alexis vanish mysteriously, sparking future intrigue if recast or if Grahn is ever rehired. Prison sentence. Given her history, Alexis could once again land behind bars, either for protecting her family or taking the fall for someone else. Each option carries weight, but none will truly satisfy fans who want Nancy Lee Grahn herself on screen. With Alexis being such a cornerstone character, the question naturally arises, would GH dare to recast her? Soap operas have recast beloved roles before, sometimes with success, sometimes with disaster. The idea of anyone else playing Alexis Davis feels unthinkable to many fans. Yet some argue it may be the only way to preserve the Davis family legacy. Names like Katie McLean and Robin Christopher have already been whispered in fan groups as potential replacements. But the shadow of Grahn looms large. Would audiences accept a new face delivering Alexis' sharp wit, fiery courtroom monologues, and motherly wisdom? Or would the backlash doom any attempt before it even begins? Beyond the world of soap operas, Grahn's firing, if confirmed, would spark a much larger conversation. Hollywood has long been a place where politics and entertainment collide, but the daytime world has often stayed under the radar compared to primetime and film. Now, Grahn's departure could ignite debates about free speech, cancel culture, and whether actors should face professional consequences for their personal political opinions. Industry analysts predict that GH may face a new wave of media attention, not for its storylines, but for its behind-the-scenes controversy. And that kind of attention, while dramatic, is not always the kind networks want. So far, Grahn herself has remained quiet on the alleged firing rumors. Her silence, however, has only fueled speculation. Fans are eagerly refreshing her social media feeds, waiting for a statement, a denial, or a fiery clapback. Knowing Nancy, if she speaks, it will not be with half measures. Whether she issues a dignified farewell or a scorched earth takedown of ABC remains to be seen. The soap world is fragile. With daytime dramas shrinking in number, every casting shakeup matters. Losing a veteran like Nancy Lee Grahn could destabilize General Hospital at a time when the genre is fighting for survival. The Davis girls, how will Sam, Christina, and Molly function without their mother at the center? The courtroom void, with Alexis gone, who takes over as Port Charles's moral legal compass. Diane? Martin? A new character entirely? Viewer loyalty. Will longtime viewers tune out in protest, or will curiosity keep them watching? Frank Valentini has proven himself a survivor in the soap world, but this decision could either strengthen his grip on GH or unravel it. Soap history is full of shocking firings that were later walked back after fan backlash. Some insiders suggest that if the uproar grows loud enough, Valentini and ABC may reconsider Grahn's future. Petitions are already circulating online. Hashtags like #SaveAlexis and #KeepNancyOnGH are trending. If the movement gathers enough steam, it wouldn't be the first time fans changed the fate of a beloved star. No matter what happens, Nancy Lee Grahn's impact on General Hospital cannot be erased. For nearly 30 years, she has entertained, educated, and inspired. Her performances have been layered, fearless, and deeply human. Alexis Davis will forever be remembered for her sharp tongue, vulnerable heart, and unwavering fight for her family. As the future remains uncertain, one truth shines clear. Whether Grahn stays or goes, she has already carved her name into soap opera history. The reported firing of Nancy Lee Grahn marks a turning point, not only for General Hospital, but for the entire soap genre. It forces hard questions about free speech, political expression, and the blurred lines between actor and character. For fans, it's personal. For ABC, it's business. For Frank Valentini, it may be the most controversial decision of his career. As Port Charles braces for life without Alexis Davis, one thing is certain. The drama behind the scenes is every bit as compelling as the stories unfolding on screen.